Okay. Hi. Uh, can we start, all of you? Okay. Today I will cover one of the missing sections. Okay, that is related to VPC peering. So today we can go with VPC peering. My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the topic is VPC peering. So uh, actually VPC peering is coming under the networking um, configurations. Okay. So where we are going to use VPC peering, first we need to know that, for example, there's a scenario. We need to connect uh, network between, I mean, connection between two different VPC. Okay. For example, we have a VPC. We have a VPC here. Okay. So VPC is, it's actually a network, right? It's a virtual network. So the requirement is inside the network, we can see a lot of subnets. Okay. Subnet 1 and subnet 2. Also, inside subnet, we can see the virtual machines as well, right? So some scenarios are there. Some scenarios like some machines or some virtual network resources needs to communicate with the other VPC. So consider we have another VPC here. Okay, this VPC within the same network, sorry, same account. Same account means same AWS account. Okay, or different region. That means same account, but we using different region for keeping different VPC. Okay, or else different account as well. Okay, different account. That means two different AWS account, consider like that. And each account has their own VPC, and we need to connect between different account as well. Okay, for these all the scenarios we can configure VPC. If the another VPC in the same account or different region, or else different account. Okay, in all these cases we can configure VPC peering. So peering connection is basically creating a network connection or network bridge. Okay, it's a creating a bridge between one network and another network. I mean, one VPC to another VPC. Here the requirement is here in another VPC also there is some concern like then this VPC has a subnet. Okay, subnet, and here we can see a mission as well, VM. So this VM needs to talk with the next VM belongs to the VPC2. So in this case, actually, we are going to set up a peering connection. So VPC peering is the name for the peering connection offered by AWS. VPC peering. So actually in backend, actually AWS will create a dedicated network between these two VPC when we creating the peering connection. Got it? Any doubt?
Can you give an example of like in which scenario do we need to connect to VPC peering? Like it will be a different VPC and same account or different region. What would be the scenario in which case we'll be doing VPC peering?
Scenario means, for example, here you can see this mission needs to talk to the another mission, right? So in that case, we need to configure VPC peering. Otherwise, for example, there is a company, okay, a multinational company, and that company have different, their different offices are placed in different, regions. Okay, for example, the headquarters, company's headquarters in US and some other branches in UK, the India, Australia, like that. So in that case, we need to create a network connection between each of the locations. But so some employees from US regions needs to talk to the UK resources or Australia based resources or Indian resources. So each places we created different VPC for the same company. In that case, also we need to create a peering connection between different location. Got it.
Okay. Somehow your voice is not clear.
Now it's
I
fine,
got,
right?
yeah, it's fine. I got it.
Okay, okay. Okay. So we can set up a lab, okay, for the same. So you will get more idea. So consider like that we have a VPC here, and here also we have a VPC, okay. And the requirement is we will create a machine here, okay, a virtual machine inside a subnet, and we will test a connection between. I mean, this will be in a different region, okay. For example, we can set up this in a US East region, East one, and this will be this VPC. We can select some other region, okay. For example, UK region. So one is in US and one is in UK. Okay, so the prerequisite is we need to set up two VPC. Okay, if we have VPC in different region, we can use that also. Then we will set up a virtual machine, and from US to UK, we will create it. I mean, set up a test connection. Okay, first we will log into this machine that belongs to US, and using the help of VPC peering, we will access the virtual machine from this to the UK machine. Got it? So in between, we will set up peering connection first. Peering connection. Okay, for setting a peering connection, first we need to go to the VPC. Okay, before I will set up a different missions. I mean, two missions in different region. So here you can see my current region. That is US. We see this is my existing region. Okay, current region is US East one. So I will open one more window for the next region. Okay, so I'm switching from US East to UK region. I will choose EU North one. Okay, that is belongs to Stockholm. So here you can see this is UK and this is US. Okay, I'm just opening two window. So here I am going to create one EC2 mission. Into micro is fine. Select the public subnet because we need to log into this mission. Okay, initially from this mission we need to set up a connection or test a connection to UK mission. So here the mission is, yeah, it's up and running. Now I am in the Europe region. Okay, I will select a mission similar like US, UK. Yeah. I'll create a separate key pair for this mission. Okay, because we need the key to authenticate. Also, you can see if we create a VPC pairing connection, that the targeted machines, okay, or the targeted resources belongs to private network. Okay, then we can also set up the connection. Okay, see here I am going to select a private subnet. Okay, also I don't need a public IPs. Okay, I will disable the public IP and launch instance. So here actually we have a VM. This is the VM. Okay, so that VM belongs to US. Now we deployed another virtual machine. This is a subnet. Okay, subnet. And inside VM, it's this subnet is actually private one. Okay, using peering connection, we can access private missions or private network as well. Got it. So we don't need to expose the subnet as public one. So now the machines are fine. Now we need to go to the VPC peering. Okay. So for that, we need to go to the VPC dashboard. So here we can see the option VPC peering. So peering connection is similar like a it's a type of a requester and acceptor setup. Okay, for example, if any VPC needs to connect with any another VPC, then the requester, the VPC who requests to create the connection is called a requester. Okay, that VPC we called as a requester, and the VPC needs to accept the connection from the requester is called requester VPC. So, for example,
Can you repeat it again? Because I heard you say
yeah.
request.
So the yes. So this is the requester mission, right? So requested VPC. In this case, the initial request came from this VPC belongs to US. So we can call it as the requester. This is a requester VPC, okay? So this VPC request to create a connection between or with the VPC in UK, right? So this VPC will be the acceptor. So we need to define everything when creating the VPC peering connection. So this will be the requester VPC, and this will be the UK region will be the acceptor VPC. And after creating the peering connection, we will send a request to UK VPC. If the VPC, okay, that UK VPC accepts this connection, then it will create a peering connection. Also, there is an option to reject the connection, okay. So if it accept, then it will create the peering connection. If they reject, then the connection will be reject. So here in left side, we can see peering connection. See peering connection. Click on the peering connection and create peering connection. We need to define the name. And we need to select the cluster VPC, okay, within the region. In this region, we can see a lot of VPC, right? So from that VPC, we need to select the VPC. So that VPC will be the request, okay? So I'm selecting the corresponding VPC here. And here we can see select another VPC to pair with it. So here a lot of options are there, like that VPC belongs to same account, okay? Then we can define, I mean, we need to select that one. If the account is belongs to some other AWS account, then we need to define the another account also here, okay? So in that case, we need to provide the account ID as well. So in my case, you can see my account ID. This is the account ID. So for example, if I need to connect with some other account, okay, so there we will get that account ID. So we need to copy paste here. So in this case, my both VPC belongs to my same account, but one is in another region as well. That's all. So in below, you can see the region we need to select, and this will asking for the acceptor VPC in which region. Okay, if that acceptor, I mean VPC in the same region, we need to select this region. Okay, so in this case, it belongs to UK. See, it's in Stockholm, so we need to select another region. So also we need to select the region actually. So this is a region, okay. And here you see we need to define the VPC ID as well. For the acceptor VPC, we need to define the I mean provide the VPC ID. So for that we need to go to the VPC of the VPC that we are going to create connection, okay, in UK. So In this case, I don't create any new VPC. Okay, we can using the existing VPC as well. So here you can see we have a VPC here. So we need to select that VPC ID. So this is a VPC ID. So copy the ID. And here we need to paste it. Okay. So that's fine. And here you can see click peering connection. That's all. So from the requester, it started that request. I mean, send the request to the corresponding VPC that we need to create. Okay, create peering connection. So it's fine. See, we can see a VPC peering connection has been requested. Okay, so we need to go to the VPC in UK and go to the request. Okay, I mean accept the request. For that, we can see the request as well. So for that, we need to go to the peering connection of UK, select peering connection. Here we can see this is the request came from the US region. So here we can see everything and the status, see the status pending acceptance. So how can we accept the request? Select the VPC peering connection and action. Here we can see accept request or reject request. Also, we can see from where it came from. I mean, this request, okay. So here you can see the VPC request ID, everything we can see here that ending with the 045. So for our VPC, this is VPC, we are using VPC ID.
The one you selected is DevOps learning, but we are using Guru
Oh,
tool.
DevOps. Sorry. Yeah. So you can see the ID ending with the 0045. 0045. So here we need to, I'm going to accept this request. Okay. So select the VPC and action, accept request, accept. So now it's created a connection. I mean, there is a network connection between those VPC. Okay. I mean, US and UK. Good. Give me a second. Okay. I'll back. Okay. So the first part is done. Now we need to do some configuration in the routing as well. Okay. For example, each VPC has subnet, right? So for a better communication between these two VPC, we need to configure the route table as well. So that's you can see here. Modify uh, my route table now. So we'll do that. Okay. Before that, yeah. So peering connection is active now. So next step is we need to set up the route tables. Okay. So for that, first we need to go to the requester VPC route table where this EC2 machine belongs. Okay. So that belongs in a subnet, right? So for the subnet, we need to configure the routing and routing things. Okay. So first we need to select. So this is a mission related to US. Select the mission. And here we can see the subnet as well. Go to the subnet. And select the subnet. So this is a route table. Okay, select the route table of the subnet. So go to the route table. And here you can see we need to edit something here. Okay, so we need to add one more route for for the VPC peering actually. So select the add route. So our destination, we need to define the destination as that VPC IP that belongs to UK. So for that we need to go to the UK VPC and copy the IP address. Okay, so this is IP. Copy it and back to the US, then paste here. Okay, that's fine. And this is a target actually. Okay, so we need to define this is a destination and we need to define the target as well. Our target is the peering connection. So select the peering, it will list the peering connection that we create. Okay, so this is the one. Six of that, fine. Okay, save changes. And we need to do the same thing in UK region as well. So go to the UK region and go to the EC2 mission. Go to the region. Sorry, go to the subnet. And go to the route table. Edit routes. Okay. This is actually a private subnet actually. Okay. There is no interconnection for this subnet. I mean, where the VM belongs. Okay. So here I am going to add a route. So that routes for the VPC IP of the requester actually. Okay. And here also we need to define that the target as the VPC peering. So select the VPC peering, it will list actually. The same VPC peering it will list. Okay. So save changes. So that's all. Now we need to make a connection between that US to UK machine. Okay. For that we need to go to the EC2 machine and go to the first I'm going to log into that machine. Okay. For the mission belongs to UK, we can't access that mission. Okay, see, since that mission is in a private subnet, right? There is no public AP or anything there. So the only option we can use some Bastion host. Okay, so in this case, I will do the similar lab. Okay, how using this as a Bastion, and first I'm going to log in that mission. This is a US mission. Okay, so our requirement is we need to SSH from the US mission to the UK mission. That mission belongs to private actually. So first thing we need to update the package manager. Okay, update.
So we need to copy the private key in this
Yes, yes,
E2.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So when we are creating the peering, right? You said they will be accepted, more like um, not accepting, like discarding it. How can we know, like whenever we are trying to set up the connection, it is showing that the pairing connection. If it is not showing, which means the connection is not
Rejected.
accepted or rejected. Uh,
Yeah.
like it has the other option to like delete the pairing connection. So in that case too, does it like
Yes.
we can assume it has as a discarded one, right?
Right. Right. So here you can see I'm pasting the key encrypted data, okay, for the machine that belongs to UK. I'm save and exit. Then I will change the modification for this file. So I'm using 444 key.
You have given 4 4s.
Sorry. 444 or 4000 also fine actually. So using that key, we can try to SSH, okay, SSH. Then username EC2 at,
It hyphen user at the rate.
yeah, EC2 dash user. So here we need to define the IP, right? So in this case, we don't have a private IP, sorry, public IP. So that we can use the private also. Hit enter. See, we successfully access that missions belongs to private network actually. So this is the IP. Got it. So in this case, you can see that machine, okay, that so we have a VPC here, and from here we have a VM VPC, and from this VM we are actually accessing another virtual machine that is purely in private network, also in another VPC somewhere in US, okay, sorry, somewhere in UK region as well. Some available zones belongs to that is actually EU North one, okay, somewhere in the Stockholm. So this is the way we set up a peering connection, VPC peering. So using the VPC peering, we are accessing a private network that belongs to some another region as well. Got it.
What if it is a public one instead of private? Do we need to do the same thing too for the private one?
Yes.
So sorry, public one.
Public one as well, yeah.
Okay.
For the public one, we do the same thing. That's not no issues for that. I mean, using the PEM key, we can access that mission. Okay,
So do we need to give a public IP or the private IP of that one?
private is fine because we created a dedicated network connection. So private is also fine.
Okay.
For the public one, anyone can access, right? Don't
Yes.
need to, yeah. For anyone can access that public missions using IP, PEM key, and username. These are the requirement.
Do we can we secure that mm, connection only allowing this IP address to make a connection with that one, just like the Baston one, like going into that what we call UK
Mm,
VM and allowing only this IP.
yes, for that we can use security group. See here, this is a UK VM, okay? And go to the security group, select the security group. And here you can see by default the SSS connection from where actually it's taken. Okay, so the source define everywhere. Okay, that is IP 000. So here we can define the UK.
US. US.
Sorry, US VPC IP address 10.00. This is a range. Okay, so that we can define here.
So is it gonna be VPC IP rather than EC2 IP?
Yeah, or else
Okay.
we can define the EC2 IP as well. For example, a specified case. This is a specific case. Okay. For example, we can define this IP as well. Only taken that connection from that this mission. Okay. In
Mm.
that case, we can define this mission IP here. So as per the requirement, we can define like it's a connection from a entire VPC or a specific mission as well.
Okay.
So similar way we can filtering the traffic. Okay, like here actually for the instance level we need to configure the security group. So this is actually instance level secure. Okay,
Okay.
in front of the EC2 we need to define what are the inbound rules that eating the mission. So everything we need to define here.
So if you give the VPC ID over there, whatever the connections, like how many EC2 instance which are in that VPC can access that machine, right?
Right.
Okay. So here it's only one machine can access now, rather than
Yeah.
the okay.
That missions belongs to subnet actually. Okay. For
Yeah.
example, actually we added the root for the subnet root table, right? So what are the machines under the same similar subnet in UK and US can talk.
Okay. So we are creating the VPC peering for VPCs, right? We are like exchanging the VPC IDs rather than instance IDs, right? I've
Yes.
seen you. Okay.
So VPC peer, this is a way we creating a VPC peering and connect different missions. Okay. So in some other case, okay, for example, we have more VPC, okay, more than two. In this case, we have only two VPCs. This is a one VPC and this is a second VPC. In that case, we can use peering connection. That's fine. For consider like that, we have some other VPCs are there in different account or same region or different region. Like we have more two more VPC there, VPC 3 and VPC 4. So in that case, we can't use peering connection because peering is only for limited VPC. And this two VPC we can connect. Okay. For that case, we need to use some other service that is called transit gateway. This is another another service offered by AWS. The name is transit gateway. So using transit gateway, we can connect multiple VPC. Even we can connect with the on-premise data center as well. For example, we have some four VPCs are there. Okay. Also, we have some data or we have a on-premise network as well. This is on-premise. So we need to create a connection between these all resources or these all the network actually. So in that case, we need to set up a transit gateway and there we can connect with all of the all of the VPC. Also, we can connect to on-premise as well. Okay, all these VPCs and on-premise talk through the transit gateway service. So VPC is for limited VPC. Okay, only we can set up two VPC. So if we have more VPC to create a network connection between all of these, then we need to go with the transit gateway. Got it.
Okay.
So anyone have any doubt? And previous class we completed the Docker things, right? Docker volume, right?
Yes.
Docker volumes. Did we start Docker network on that class?
Up.
Okay, Docker network not taken, right? I believe both are completed on that section, network and volume.
It's only volume. Not sure.
Sorry.
Uh, I think it's only volume. I have to check the recording and I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay, 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 okay. So coming section, we need to complete that part. Actually, some pending section from the Docker part is uh, if the Docker network is not covered, then we need to go to the Docker network. Then registry also there, okay, Docker registry. Okay, so that's all.
So, are you gonna cover or like transit gateway? Can you show us a lab or how does it? Because we can connect, we can use the transit gateway for two connections too. Since we
For
can't
the
create
transit
more
gateway,
connections.
yeah, for the transit gateway, we need to set up a lot of VPC actually. For example,
I
on-premise, yeah,
mhm. Can we
for
do that with
on-premise,
two machines too, like two VPCs too, transit gateway, just to get an idea of like how to connect.
yep, yep. I will include that section
Okay.
for transit. Yeah.
Do you suggest any like good documentation or practice stuff for Docker? Anything?
For the Docker, I will share after completing that Docker registry network. Okay.
Okay.
Anyone tried? I mean, in weekend, did you? I posted one lab, right?
I'll do it tomorrow. I have started today actually. I've like started and I'm going from the initial one. So I think I'll be complete. I'll complete the work by tomorrow and I'll show you.
Okay, okay. Uh, it's actually a task actually that is for Dockerize a application code actually.
Yes.
I shared that Git repository. So in that Git you can see some application code like index.html file.
Index.html. Yeah.
Yes, some files are there. So in that directory, we can't see a Docker file, right? So our requirement is we need to create a Docker file from scratch for the application deployment to container.
Sure.
For that, we need to the task is create a Docker file actually.
Docker file. Okay.
So first you need to clone this repository to the VM, okay, to the EC2 machine. Then the same directory, we need to create the Docker file. Then you install Docker. Then using Docker command, we need to build the Docker file. If everything is good, we can see that it created the build image. Then we can run. That's all.
Instead of cloning the entire repository, can't we like copy the content of the index.html and create a file
That's
in
fine.
the.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
But in some other cases, if the file, that file is related to some other
Yeah, if it
document
is
or
dependent on something else,
yeah,
yeah, we need to clone the entire repository. Okay.
right.
I don't think this
Mm,
one is dependent on anything. It is like,
it's not dependent actually. I need to check
yeah,
actually. No, it's not dependent actually.
yeah,
Only we need to take that index.html file.
yes. Since you have created maybe last week this file, other than that, other files are like 8 months back or something like that. I thought of like it is an independent one, so I can copy the contents of the index.html and I can work on that. Yeah, I can do either way.
Yep. Then we can wind up, right? Today's section and tomorrow we can continue the Docker part. If I have set up any lab for the transcript way, I will include that. Okay.
Sure.
Okay then. Bye all.
Thank
All
you.
good, right? Yeah.